am so blessed. I'm called the relationship doctor. And my elevator speech is that from the boardroom to the bedroom, I want to help you make every marriage, transform every relationship. I am focused specifically on marriages. My doctoral dissertation was humor as a communication strategy in military marriage. You can take the military off, it's really just humor in marriage.
Yeah.
I loved it, which that led me on this journey to the book that I wrote, The Super Couple. There was a question on that survey that simply said, rate your marriage. And everything else on that survey had to do with humor and marriage to go with my dissertation. But this one that said, rate your marriage, stunned me, because 644 people took the survey. And the scale was extremely unhappy, very unhappy, and unhappy, to the flip side, which was happy, very happy, extremely happy, and perfect. And out of 644 people, 35% of them checked off extremely happy. Stunned me. 9 of them checked off perfect. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to count those because those are just newlyweds having sex every day, so they don't have a clue. Which, when I went back and checked my data, those 9 people were actually married 15, 20, 30 years. Yeah, so I was stunned. Okay. But I was still concerned with 35% of 600 people checked off extremely happy. Because if you looked at American marriages today, you'd be thrilled if 35% of them said they were happy, right? So to say that they were extremely happy, and at this point in my life, I wasn't even checking the happy box. My husband and I had been married in 83, filed for divorce in 87, separated 4 years, got back together. And we got back together with no training, so it still sucked. We still made the same mistakes. That's when I got my dissertation, and I was like, what is going on here? There's something noteworthy. And it was actually a passion, a burning in here that wouldn't go away. So I got my dissertation, I got my doctorate, and I was like, I have got to interview these couples. I've got to discover, did they get lucky? They simply met their 1 in a million, fate, Cupid, psh, good, and sucks to be you, everybody else. You met your 1 in 300, hopefully they'll die and you can do it right the second time, right?
Right.
Which was my belief, because I had so many years of miserable marriage in my mind. Or was I going to find that these couples, it was what they said and what they did and ways of behaving and pattern, a formula that made them extremely happy. I expected to find they got lucky. I was hoping to find there was a formula, in which, thank God, I was able to go, oh my gosh. So I interviewed about 50 couples formally, about 50 couples informally. So recording, audio recording versus not. And it really only took about 5 couples to go, wow, there is a formula. Because if you went with me on an interview today, and I give you the list of questions that we're going to ask these couples, same questions, I'm going to tell you, here's how they'll answer this, here's how they'll answer that, and here's how they'll answer this. And these couples I interviewed are extremely happy, what I call super couples. And so 5 couples, I'm like, there's a formula. Because every husband answered the same way, every wife answered the same way. So what I started doing is, it wasn't totally subconscious, is taking this information and I started practicing these behaviors on my husband. And what was weird is he didn't realize he was a marital guinea pig, right? Though he probably should, because he's married to me and everything's, Danny started reciprocating these behaviors, and for him it totally was subconscious. So our marriage, which, a happy marriage rotates this way, our unhappy marriage rotates this way, and at best, Danny and I were just in a holding pattern. It wasn't good, wasn't bad, we're just like, But what happened little by little with these behaviors, we slowly started rolling back towards happy, and then that built on happy behavior. So his behaviors reciprocated good behaviors in me, and back and forth like this, and I'm like, wow. So when I was first writing this book, The Super Couple, a formula for extreme happiness in marriage, right? I remembered in the beginning thinking, there is a formula, read this book and you too can one day be a super couple. Not me, but you can. And I was like, no. God was kind of saying, no, you need to put a hold on that book for a moment. So what happened is a couple more years, but it took me 5 years to write it because of personal things going on at that time. But in that 5 years, Danny and I went from unhappy to very happy, which is about the time that I finished writing the book. And at the end of the book, I was able to say, and if I can go from unhappy, extremely unhappy, filing for divorce and praying for him to die, infidelity, remarriage, well, we never divorced, but got back to extremely happy, or we're almost extremely happy, you can too.